All right, have and have not fans, I have to admit that last night's episode actually to me was better than last week, and just my opinion in terms of not just the pacing, but also the fact that again we have more character interactions. I mean, honestly, the scene between Hannah, Veronica, Katheryn, and Mitch at the jail was just awesome. I love that. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm actually jumping on to do this video real quick. It's something that this is probably the most requested video in less than 24 hours. Yeah, because it's not even 9 p.m. while I'm recording this. Everybody's been asking me. It's not been about, well, it looks like Candace is going to find out next week what happened to her son. Oh my gosh, she slapped Erica. What's going to happen with War? No. The most requested video is about a scene that wasn't even in last night's episode. It was in the preview for next week. It looks like Katheryn Cryer is going to pull a Veronica, if you will, being a cougar to kind of hit on Mitch Malone. And that is the topic of this video. I mean, that's what everybody wanted me to talk about. And again, this is going to be the first video after last night's episode. Of course, more are on the way. But again, I just had to do this one really quick. Now, in regards to Katheryn getting with Mitch, it's hard to tell how I feel about that. Okay. Put it this way, you have to look at how these scenes are broken up in the previews for, new episodes. We don't always get the best of what the episode has to offer. It's almost as if Tyler Perry and Owen kind of like put in little tidbits here and there about, okay, here's a scene you might be interested in. So now you kind of want to watch next week's episode a little bit more. I mean, yeah, we got this slap and everything, but honestly, that scene between Katheryn and Mitch is what really everybody seems to be talking about. And it could be just a one-off funny scene. Remember that episode where Katheryn was getting a massage, and then, the male young masseuse was there, and she was hitting on him, and I think she was joking around. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't sound like she was joking like, do you want me to be your sugar mama? Trying to make Jim jealous, but then, Jim told the guy to leave, and he felt pretty uncomfortable about the whole thing. But given the fact that, Katheryn's kind of flying close to the flame, what I mean by that is that Veronica, well, what was it? When Mitch said, hey, I'm Mitch Malone, and my family would really appreciate it if you can get Miss Young to see her son. So again, it's kind of funny how Mitch throws the Malone name around when necessary. And I believe Mama Rose even mentioned that in an episode, saying that, hey, he wants to be a good kid away from this, gangster life. He'll only call me up when he needs a favor, which is something I don't think Mitch does on the regular. But at the same time, it's like, he only really contacts that part of his family when he needs to. I don't really think he isolated Mama Rose and the others, like his brothers and cousins and whatnot. I just feel like, hey, it's almost like a family reunion kind of thing. It's kind of like those people you really don't deal with on the regular, like those cousins and relatives, but you're still cool with each other. So I feel like that's kind of the relationship between Mitch and Mama Rose, given the fact that she's going through all this trouble just because her grandson was shot at. And oh my God, I'm going to get into more information in a new Mama Rose video I'm going to do. But even Jim mentioned in the last episode about, Mama Rose. Again, I'm kind of making this video in a haste because it's more about Katheryn and Mitch as opposed to Mama Rose and Oscar and everything. So forgive me if I missed some little details. I forgot the title of the like Blood Bank Tuesday or something like that. It was when Jim was talking to David and talking about how that one black thug tried to shoot at another Malone thug, shoot at a Malone thug, and then what was it, like one building project where 14 people were killed, women and children as well. So that shows me right there that even if if any of her crew members are messed with family or gangsters, but given the fact that the name Malone strikes fear, we can assume that everybody involved in the organization is a Malone in one way or another. So that's left up to assumption that if any one of them gets picked off for some other even if they don't get killed, Mama Rose is going to rain hell. And I do find it interesting, Katheryn knowing that kind of stuff in terms of Malone. She still wants to, hey, get a little freaky, if you will, with Mitch. And hey, I mean, honestly, would it bother me? Not really, because Katheryn giving her something to do aside from worrying about her children and dealing with, and I quote, the bastard being Jim Cryer. It will be an interesting concept, but my thing is, I mentioned this before, I'm really not a big fan of recycled plot lines, and the haves and have-nots is notorious for that. I mean, oh man, we had a cougar in Veronica when she started messing around with Benny. Why did she do it? Well, because things weren't going well with David. She even says, I want to be single soon, referring to her divorce from Jim. So she's looking around to get a little busy herself with a younger man in Mitch. Not sure how that's going to play out. Again, this video is all just speculation, because again, it would not surprise me if the just the one scene in the preview where she's kind of hitting on Mitch, I could use a man like you, it could just be a one-off joke, people. So let's not take it too serious too soon, because I even did a video, this was when I first started YouTube, I think it had to do with, remember when Jennifer and Wyatt were talking, when he said he'd testify if he passed a drug test that Jennifer would give him his inheritance. Remember that? Wyatt was so happy that he kissed her on the cheek and then left the office. I mean, I remember doing a video of that, after that episode, thinking, hey, well, remember that when Benny got out of jail in season 1, thanks to Veronica, he kissed her on the cheek. Next thing you know, they ended up banging each other. What if the same thing happens with Jennifer and Wyatt? And it didn't. So that's why I think this is just a funny one-off joke. It would be interesting, to say the least, if, Mitch and Katheryn started messing around, especially if Jim found out, not because he would be jealous, but can you imagine Mama Rose is kind of mad at Jim because Jim got Warlock out of jail, which resulted in her grandson being shot at. Now, what if Jim's soon-to-be ex-wife is found out to be messing around with Mama Rose's grandson? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like all hell's going to break loose again on Jim Cryer, because enough is going on right now. So with that being said, do you think that Tyler Perry will pull another Veronica and Benny situation with Katheryn and Mitch? Or again, like me at the moment, do you feel like it's just like a funny one-off line in the preview for next week, just to kind of get us, interested in what's going on? Because given the fact that it seems like there's going to be way more drama next week in terms of Candace finding out about her son, the aftermath of Candace's decision about whether or not to railroad Benny, as well as the slap fight between her, well, actually the slap, I mean, literally Erica got the taste knocked out of her mouth, and then her going on the phone, going off on War to get somebody down here. And Benny and Hannah in the jail containment room, there's a lot of drama going on. So I think there is more than enough room for one or two, smart remarks and funny moments. And I feel like the Mitch and Katheryn thing is just going to be one of those funny moments to kind of lighten the mood after all the drama that's going to go down next week. So with that being said, that's just my 2 cents. I mean, maybe after next week's episode, if there is more intel during the conversation between Mitch and Katheryn, if I feel like there's more, more to it than just a funny one-off remark, maybe an Easter egg for another plot point in the future, of course, I'll be sure to grab the microphone, get in front of my computer like I am now, and do another video. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and please subscribe, because again, I have more videos on last night's episode on the way.